See, this is Black Light. See, Elijah's favorite saying, or one of his favorite sayings, you could say it was his motto: "Do for self, do something for self." And you could see where he was coming from. We are always doing something for our former slave master and his children, and getting little, really nothing back from it. Because if you think about the dollar bill that we work for, it don't have no more value. If you owe common sense, well, put it like this: mother wit tells you that if the government, which is supposed to be the people, is in $20 million worth of debt, or it's more than it's more than $1 trillion worth of debt. It's it's almost a zillion dollars. We're heading towards debt, and that dollar have no more value, so they're trying to go cashless. You know, right now, this YouTube and social media technology is really a lifesaver for them, but it's so easily compromised. So everybody just grabbing what they can get now. And then you got the underground economy, which is drugs. If it weren't for that underground economy, uh, this country would have been the sank a long time ago. And then the next one is the war economy. That war thing, they make a lot of money selling arms, starting wars, taking land, stealing land, taking land, grabbing the precious minerals that's in the land. And so Elijah Muhammad then said the country, it was over with for the Caucasian. His time was up. The only thing keeping him, you know, afloat is you don't have the knowledge of fully saturated knowledge of self, who you are. And you refuse to take Elijah's word for it. But he done his job. Then when Mr. Farrakhan come, he said he's the national representative. Well, one thing Mr. Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't do was let Caucasians up in his mix, especially when he teaching the FOI and teaching his ministers and, you know, his daily mix. Only when he give a Savior's Day or something, he might let them come in and get a general uh, knowledge of what's going on. But he didn't hold no punches, man. He told it like it was. A lot of Caucasians agree with him because they want to be saved. They want to be saved. See, because the next crop of strong black brothers and sisters coming up, I ain't talking about the weak ones, so many weak ones now, but the strong ones coming up, they're not going to compromise. You know, and so the Caucasian, you know, he's trying to put it into uh, or put fear in the rise of the next strong black man. Once we get rid of all these weak leaders, you know, see, guys just trying to con you, but the hypocrites, you know, trying to take center stage. See, what's always what's popular is not always right, and what's right is not always popular. You're not gonna get no whole lot of good feedback when you're right, because no one wants to be wrong, especially stubborn people. They can't admit when they wrong. See, in my up and coming videos, I'm building on this. You know, I'm going to go into the Constantine, the one Constantine who you know, who was a Roman gangster and changed the Bible up. You know, where you start getting your Masons really, and the Inquisitions when the Moors was ruling over in Spain, gave Spain civilization, and the Inquisitions came up. They basically like this, you know, this is just a big game of guys who want to call themselves Christians, and then if you was a Jew, you would say they would ask you who you with, and if you say, well, I'm a Jew, they'll torture you and kill you or whatever until you say that you're a Christian. And they did the Muslims like that, the Moors like that too, you know. Moors had got weak. That last Khalifa they had, or Emir they had, he was kind of weak, man. And he the one that brought down the reign of the Moors, you know. But the Moors, you know, they was winning the Crusades, you know, they won the Crusades. But we still fighting the Crusades today, you know. And that's why Nipsey remind me of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because he was doing stuff that the Muslims, the Farrakhan never wasn't even doing. But Elijah Muhammad had did it. Elijah Muhammad had got up to the point where he had his own banks. He was dealing with them brothers across the water, you know. The ones that see, not all Muslims overseas, you know, like Saudi Arabia and Turkey and all them, they went down with Elijah. Because he exposed them, you know. He said, we the real Arabs, we the real Muslims. They ain't, they ain't cool. That's why Master Farrakhan told him that. See, that's why he said you the original man. Now, I know Master Farrakhan look white, but why he gonna tell if he didn't want us to rise up? Why he gonna give us that kind of confidence in ourselves by saying that we the original man of the planet Earth, and then giving us our history correctly? Then why Farrakhan joined up with Wallace D. Muhammad and didn't believe what Elijah was saying for a minute. Went and got fat, somewhere. They had to go and get him because he didn't know what to do with himself. His conscience was bothering him. At least that's what he said. And went back to smoking weed and getting fat. Now he done got fat again. He don't look like that no more, what you see in the picture. He done got real big. He ain't got that little short fro no more. He done got some relaxers or something in his hair. Grease, a whole lot of grease. Cause I got hair sort of like that. My hair's fine and I could put some water on it and it'll get kind of slick with some waves in it. But that ain't good hair. That's kind of hair that our women call good because it resembles the white man's hair. And it's like that all over the planet. Even some Muslims over across the water, they showed a shot of them on Al Jazeera TV, and these are black Muslims letting their babies play with Caucasian dolls. They can't even make dolls resembling them for themselves. Same with over here. We can't make black dolls. We can't do nothing about us over here. And so what? Farrakhan, he ain't took up where Elijah left off at. Ain't no more farms. If it is a farm, you know how many farms Elijah had? Shoot, man, he had a bunch of farms, many acres. It was whole communities of Muslims in apartment buildings. And see, up here in Detroit, there's no historical sites where it started at. They didn't try to preserve it, you know. And so, see, like I say, my uncle ran with Malcolm's family. Plus, I hung out with the Supreme Minister, John Muhammad, the Honorable H.E.M. Muhammad's spiritual and blood brother. And he talked about Master Farrakhan. But yet still Farrakhan wouldn't familiarize us. He didn't, actually he didn't give Supreme Minister John Muhammad no kind of credit. So I'm gonna quit talking about Farrakhan for a minute and get on these other brothers. It's a black light.